where God-free lifestyle atheists, agnostics, and secular humanists from across the country convened on the National Mall near the Washington Monument. Organized by national atheist groups, the Reason Rally aimed to dispel stereotypes and encourage non-believers to openly discuss and advocate for a secular society. Wisconsin resident Patty Guzikowski is former president of the Atheist Alliance of America.
A lot of people don't know that they have friends and relatives that are atheists, and so they continue to not understand what it's about and have misconceptions and stereotypes and discriminate.
The rally had another goal as well, to campaign for legislative equality. Dan Smith and his wife Kelly came from Columbus, Ohio to make sure lawmakers in Washington knew they were just as concerned with policy issues as people practicing a religion.
The assaults on women's rights and, regulating birth control and the transvaginal ultrasounds. And I mean, it's all of this comes from a place of the religious need to control society in general, but in particular women, and it's we wanted to do something that showed that's not what we support.
Others also hoped the event would have a political impact in Washington. Kenneth Bronstein, president of the New York City Atheist Association.
In politics, you need numbers. Unless we show there are numbers, and we're not going to get anything changed, because the religious right, using their numbers and using their power, we have to show that we're even larger than they are and equalize and neutralize their power.
Noted speakers included Adam Savage of Mythbusters, comedian and actor Eddie Izzard, and famed evolutionary biologist Richard Dawkins. Dawkins spoke of the grandeur of evolution as the answer to so many questions that faith tries to solve.
The laws of physics have never been violated, but the laws of physics are filtered through this incredible process called evolution by natural selection to give rise to a brain which is capable of understanding the process, a brain which is capable of measuring the age of the universe between 13 and 14 billion years, of measuring the age of the Earth between 4 and 5 billion years, of knowing what matter is made of, knowing what we are made of atoms, brought together by this mechanical, automatic, unplanned, unconscious process, evolution by natural selection. That's not just true, it's beautiful. And
Some atheist activists, including magician and author James Randi, say a lack of rational thought has permeated society. But he also says the number of non-believers are growing and called the Reason Rally a giant leap forward for atheists.
This is a widespread notion. This is not just a group of strange little people who live in attics and things like that. No, we are a very active force in society, and the secular humanism idea is a very good idea, and it should be embraced and investigated and looked into. So many people have said that they came here not knowing, and they're leaving well informed. That's what we want to hear from people.
A small number of theists also attended the rally. Reuben Israel came from Los Angeles with his group Bible Believers. Israel said interactions with the crowd had been fairly civil and without incident, but he wasn't convinced by their arguments.
God is not going to personally come down and talk to these people. He gave them the Bible, they reject that. He gave them his son, they reject that. And so as a Christian, I'm here to set the record straight. There is a God.
Atheists represent about 16% of Americans, according to a 2008 study from the Pew Research Center. Of that number, a majority is white, and that was reflected in the crowd gathered for the rally. Jamila Bey, an outspoken black atheist and journalist, says the movement could benefit from more racial, ethnic, gender, and physical diversity.
We draw strength from our diversity. Most of us are Darwinists. We understand why diversity is good. We need to look like that.
There was, however, some diversity in the crowd, like Marissa Torres Lengseth, chairwoman of the Philippines Atheist and Agnostic Society. She was there supporting her group Patas, Tagalog for equality. She said atheists make up a very small percentage of people in her home country where the majority are Catholic.
The whole world needs to know that we are out and we are here and we are growing every day. Internationally, look at us, it's Philippines. Have you noticed? I mean, this is the very first time me coming out in a rally. And this is it, Reason Rally. Would you believe that?
For the Real News Network and FSRN, I'm Brad Kuttner from Washington.